Hello and welcome to EE098, Introduction to College Writing 1 for the Spring 2017 semester. My name is Greg McConnell and I am going to be your instructor and guide for this course. This course will meet in person. Unfortunately, due to my sickness that I am undergoing right now, we were not able to meet in class today, and as promised in the email I sent out yesterday morning, I would send a video covering the course syllabus to kind of make up for the missed class this morning. So again, welcome, and let's get started. I'll shut off the camera here so as well. I just wanted to introduce myself so you can put a face to the name. Okay, so I'm not going to read through this verbatim, but there are some kind of points that I want to cover here which are important. First of all, the catalog description, which I think is very important. This course is designed to develop critical thinking and writing skills that students will need in preparation for their college programs. Students are introduced to composition strategies, basic library research methods, and MLA format in this course. Areas reviewed include the fundamentals of grammar, punctuation, usage, and sentence structure. Now you can take a look here what it is that you will be graded on for this course. Every class we will have some work to do in class. This is a very interactive class. It's not a fully lecture-based course, but it is a course which covers a great deal of information related to the writing process. I've found and believe that in my many years of teaching that getting students involved in this process, and mostly doing some in-class small readings and some group work and some mini writing activities are all very important. So we will use those a lot in this class. So you can see class preparation and participation makes up 15% of the grade. There are 2 quizzes, will be small quizzes. I may use some different technology for those quizzes this semester. There are 2+ mini graded writing assignments. It's more on the plus side, and some of those are in addition to what we do up here with class and participation. Then there will be 2 other papers, one compare and contrast paper and one narration paper as well, then a final research project for this course. Okay, and you can see what each of those make up the percentage of the grade here. The 2 papers, the narration and compare and contrast, make up 40% of the grade combined. The research project makes up 25% of the grade. Skip down here. You can read through this. I'm going to post this on Blackboard as well, so you can have this and reference it in terms of the policies of the college and the policies of the course itself. I want to spend a minute talking about the course objectives. The student will be able to apply the basic steps that comprise the writing process to compose paragraphs and essays consistent with standard English grammar and usage at the level of proficiency stated in the grading scale as evaluated by written assignments and graded papers. So these are the topics under that heading which will be expected of you, and that you will, when you successfully complete this course, be able to complete. Same with the next one. The student will be able to analyze sentence structure by applying the conventions of standard English grammar and usage at the level of proficiency stated in the grading scale as evaluated by oral/written assignments and quizzes. Okay. So those are the main course objectives. Here are some of the requirements. I did talk briefly about this earlier. This section here kind of makes up, what it is expected of you for the classes themselves. So here I'll start off, and I'll just read this first part of this. We will engage in a variety of activities that range from reading text independently or as a group. So I'll bring in some assignments, some reading assignments. We'll go over the reading assignments in class. I'll prompt you with some questions to kind of draw out, maybe looking for a thesis statement, looking for the overall main arguments or points from the writing. We'll do some of that independently and some of it as a group, taking notes, developing questions for yourself and others as a form of review, writing and reflecting on your progress as a reader and writer, and most importantly, discussing various strategies and how to apply them to your own learning process. So the next point here is, of course, this is, as I mentioned, a very interactive class. So having students engaged in the course material is going to be key to your success and the success of the course as a whole. So I will ask of you to please come prepared to class and participate. You know, we can have fun with this learning. I've always said that learning can be very fun, and we can make the learning process fun and engaging and helpful for you. So again, because of the fact that we are going to be doing a lot of in-class work, it's going to be weighted. So you can see here each class is worth a maximum of 5 points. Or maybe some classes are weighted more heavily than others, and I just simply want you to understand that right up front. Okay. More expectations, graded assignments and quizzes. A little bit of information about the papers themselves. In this next part here, I'm not sure how familiar you are yet with all the services provided to Mount Aloysius College students, but the Mount has the Learning Commons, which is located in the library on the first floor. They have peer writing tutors and a full-time writing tutor or writing center staff. They do a great job at reviewing students' papers and helping anywhere from the research process up through submitting, first draft, revisions, and final drafts into the paper. So I'm going to ask that you use those services at least twice throughout the semester, and we'll talk more about that in class, but just so you're aware that you will be required to use the Writing Center Learning Commons services. Okay. There will be opportunities for extra credit. I always welcome students who are trying to improve themselves and maybe learn something else and something new, and I will always award credit for that as well. We'll talk more about some of this other stuff here in the next couple of weeks. The conferences, the library and technology workshops, and the computer lab. So I won't go over that stuff right now. We'll talk about cancellations as well. And since we're a small group, we'll talk about how the class is going to lay out in terms of the times and those kind of things as well. Below that, there's a bibliography here for you, just some helpful, I believe, additional writing resources that are out there. So please use those. Here's a link to the Mount portal in case you don't have that bookmarked yet. And then this is the course calendar by weeks and topics. And basically what we're going to be doing is each week covering a different topic in the writing process. And I'll kind of go over those a little bit. So week 1 is the course intro, review of syllabus, which is of course what we're doing now. And then we're going to do a little in-class writing exercise later in the week when we meet on Thursday. Okay. Week 2 is covering the college writing expectations and some pre-writing, kind of that, where do we begin? What do we do before we have to write a paper? Where do we start? Okay. Week 3 is all about the thesis statement, and some of the stuff may not make a lot of sense to you at this point. But again, we will cover each of these topics in depth each week throughout the semester. Week 4 covers the body paragraphs. It's what makes up the body, the majority of your writing. Week 5, beginnings and endings. That would be the introduction and conclusion paragraphs in your paper. Week 6 is a specific writing style type, descriptive writing, and you will be required to write your first paper during this week 5, 6, 7 time frame. Okay. And week 7 covers drafting and revising. So you're going to write a first paper, and then we're going to talk about how to get it revised, and kind of thinking through the process of revision creatively and critically as well. Week 8 covers effective sentences. Week 9, conducting research and using sources. So we'll do some library work related to this area here. And then documenting sources in MLA format is week 10. Week 11, major errors in grammar. Week 12, it's all about the punctuation. Week 13, mechanics. Let's take a look under the hood. Week 14 is compare and contrast. And then week 15, final project work. And then 16, final project work / course wrap up. So the only difference I may make here is I may move this week 14, compare and contrast, to week 12. I haven't made a final decision on that yet, but I'm thinking that is maybe the only change that I'm going to make to the course calendar. But when I do, I may not make that decision for at least a few weeks into the course to see where we are in terms of the flow of the class and how you're doing with the in-class writing assignments and such. Okay. Here's my contact information here. And there is no required textbook for this course at this point. Now, I haven't taught this course for many years, and we used to have the required textbook as this little seagull handbook. I'm not sure the MOUT's policy and when that changed, but we're not going to require that you have this textbook. But we will use this website here when we get into some of the grammar exercises and those sorts of things. Okay, and that's all I wanted to cover for now. Again, I'm going to post this video on YouTube here when I finish up. I appreciate your flexibility in me canceling class today. I'm still down and trying to muster up enough energy here just to get this video out. I hope it wasn't too painful for you, and I look forward to seeing you later this week. Thanks for listening. Bye.